Hey, Andi Mack shippers, it's your girl Naya here, and I'm back at it again with season 3, episode 13. Was it Mount Rushmore or less? Sorry, you guys, I couldn't even get that out. Um, I have to say that I I completely agree with Andy this episode. And y'all know how I feel about Andy. I love her, but she has her moments. A lot of people thought that she was selfish or whatever. Honestly, the person that I felt bad for was Bowie. I felt bad for Bowie because he proposed to Bex, she denied him. Then all of a sudden she proposed to him. They're planning to get married, and then she take back her proposal. Like, I don't understand. And you want to know what's crazy about this? This is all and she did all of this because she heard a conversation. She had a conversation with her fiance's ex and her ex best friend Miranda. Like, for me, it's just not adding up. Like, it just don't make any sense. Like, you were so on board for this, and then now all of a sudden you're not. But I already felt like this is what Bex would like pull some type of shit like this, because think about it, y'all. She wasn't there for her cake testing. She didn't, like, she was looking for wedding dresses online. She just didn't seem into it. Like, she didn't care about having a big wedding or anything like that. She just wasn't into her wedding. Like, she just seemed like she didn't want to get married at all. At all. She didn't seem like she wanted to get married. Like, I've been saying it in previous reviews that I feel like this is more Cece's wedding than it is Beck's wedding. You know? But my thing is, why even go through that? If you wanted to get Bowie back, you could have got him back instead of being like, would you marry me? Just say, you know what, I want to date you again. She could have pulled this, but it's like they're just moving in circles. Like, do I feel like the wedding's gonna come back on? Absolutely, I do feel like the wedding's gonna come back on. I just have to say, Bowie is just like amazing. Amazing. Like, cause honestly, like, I can't deal with somebody playing with my heart like that. Like, Bowie is going through it. And then on top of that, like, it was just little things that Bex was doing. Like, I don't want to change my name. I want to keep my identity. But yet Bowie had no problem changing his name to Mac. Like, he loves Bex so much that he will do anything just to keep her. And I am like, and Andy has a right to be upset, because if y'all forget, Andy's the one who's going to make the centerpieces. It was Andy who was picking out the cake. Her and Cece, like, she wanted to be there for the wedding. Bex didn't even want to have like a dress moment, but she didn't include Andy in it. And now, like, she picked out a whole nother dress that she loved. It was just, I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's this back and forth, because Andy's just like, you love each other. Bowie proposed to you, and then you declined, and that made Andy mad because Bex does love Bowie. So she's not understanding. Then all of a sudden, Bex tries to propose to Bowie. Bowie has to go on tour while he was supposed to go on tour. It just seems like they love each other, but they're making it complicated for no reason. Andy has said that in previous episodes, which is why she's upset. And I feel like she's upset. And then on top of that, it just seems like all of her friends are just bailing on her. Cyrus dropped out. Jonah dropped out. And the only one who really was by her side was Buffy. And yeah, like, she wanted to have a yearbook with she just wanted the good hair crew, because Jonah's a part of that now, and she wanted them all to have like this costume day together because they're a team. And Andy had good intentions, but off the jump, they weren't really interested in that. She could have like picked like a new idea if that was the case. And then what really broke Andy's heart was just, and what also made me bad is when Jonah was sitting up there and she gave him that advice from Amber, he turned around being so simple, Mr. Simpleton. He used her words against her. And then it's just like, if you didn't want to do it, why didn't you say it earlier? Like, why did you do that on the day? You hear what I'm saying? Like, why would you do? Who cancels on the actual day? You have to do a 24-hour notice. You have the weekend to do that, and then you have the actual day. Costume day was Friday, and I don't know what day it was when they were talking, but they had some days to come up with a strategic plan if y'all was gonna bail. Or you could have just told her, like, round Rushmore is boring, let's do another costume where we dressed up like clowns or something. Or they could have just like did something crazy with their hair because they're supposed to be like the good hair crew, right? I don't know. I don't know. And that just made Andi so frustrated because it's just like, damn, it's like everybody, Jonah and Amber keep trying to make her like their marriage counselor, and she's having her own issues. And she was like, yo, I don't have time for this. And then she's like trying to get the costume ready and everybody's bailing on her. And then last minute, Jonah pulls this bullshit and she just like, really, my dude? Really? So no, I do feel like Andi has a right to be upset. And let me get on Marty. I'm gonna save what y'all want to hear. Y'all know Tyrus for last. Marty has a girlfriend, and he's hanging out with Buffy again. For a split second, I really thought Marty's girlfriend was Kira, and I was gonna be like, "Oh, so you trained her up for a newer model?" Because I don't care what anybody say, Buffy and Kira look just alike. I swear to God, they must be related or something. They look just alike, just alike. Season 1 Buffy. That's what that reminds me of. But unlike her, Buffy actually, can tone down her attitude. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, her and Marty are back together, and I love how she included Marty into their little costume day little thing. And I love how her and Marty were just cheesing and happy because they're back on good terms and they have a really strong, relationship. When she said she missed Marty and Marty has a girlfriend, I like that she wasn't bitter about it or angry about it, but she was really mature about the situation. Like, I feel like her and Marty are going to be together eventually, but for this to happen, I was like, that was really cool. Let's talk about Jonah and Amber. Amber was upset because Jonah didn't like some pictures. I already knew Amber was this type of girl. Amber just like seems like the social media type to always post cute pictures for the gram. She wants you to like all her pictures. And you know what? Why shouldn't he like all her pictures? She's not asking him to do much. I mean, if he could text all day on his phone to Libby, he could like some fucking pictures on Instagram. And I feel like, and Jonah was being hella shady. He was like, even the makeup ones, like, what the fuck you mean? Like all her shit. Yeah. Yeah. If he could text Libby back to back all day on his phone, he could like some of Amber's pictures on Instagram. He can. Right? Like, it's not even that deep. All you do is have to scroll down and just tap. You don't even have to leave a comment. Just double tap. Like, it don't make no sense to me. It just don't make no sense. And then it was just like, Amber's this and Amber's it was just really weird. It just kind of seemed like Jonah was just already over her before it began. And I knew this was going to happen because you don't sit there and jump out of a relationship and jump into a new one. It just seems like Jonah just dated her to cope with the fact that Libby broke up with him, and he was embarrassed, and he just didn't want to seem like he wasn't the one who couldn't like move on or look weak, which is childish. Jonah just needs to be single, and I've been saying this for a long time. Like, Jonah just needs to be single. He obviously has some. He needs to be. He just seems like the person who just needs to be in a relationship. Like, he did this with Andi when Andi was ready to break up with him. He had a panic attack. He looked like he was embarrassed and freaked out when Libby probably broke up with him. He probably just fell right into Amber's lap. It's just not working. Like, I don't know. And Amber is just like doing all the right things. Like, I don't see what she's doing. She might be a little annoying, but I mean, it's Amber. Like, what did you what did you expect? Of course, Amber's gonna be like that. And speaking of her little photo shoot by the river, she looked really cute. And I just love how I even chuckled a little bit when she was like getting those good angles, and she had Andi take it from her. I like how it's not weird for Amber to confide in Andi, and she even went to her for advice because Andi dated him too, and she went to him. She went to Andi for advice, and it just showed you how close their relationship is now when she feels comfortable enough to do that. And I just really like that. I don't know if Andi is jealous or whatever. I think she's just still in shock about the whole thing, and she's like really awkward about it. It's just weird. Okay, we could talk about Tyrus. Okay, so did I think that Kira was flirting with TJ? Yes. And let me tell you why I think Kira was flirting with TJ. Because when Kira initially came up, her demeanor was it wasn't even like a flirty type. Like, it was strategic. Like, she was like, okay, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. TJ don't like Buffy. I don't like Buffy. I'm gonna see if I can get on the basketball team, right? So she went in with a plan, and then she started talking to TJ, and TJ was like, I think he said her name. What is it, Kira? And then she was like, wait, you know me? And Kira just seems like the type of girl to get gassed up, and she just has like this big ego. So of course, when TJ, the captain of the basketball team, knew your name, of course you're gonna be like, so you heard of me, Right then and there, that threw her off because TJ was cute. He just came off the court. He knew who she was. He knew her by name. And he even said he watched a couple of her games. He said she was a good player. She said he even told her, "Oh, there's a girls basketball team, And she was like, "Oh, well, Buffy kicked me off." And they had a little kiki. Well, it was just like they can relate. They can relate. And then Cyrus came up, right? And they dapped each other up. And if you recall, it was the same dap up that he did Jonah in season 1, but he was like shaking and like uncomfortable with dapping, Jonah up. But you see how he just leaned in and he did it so swoop, so clean, and so comfortable when it was TJ in season 3. So he goes up to TJ and they start smiling, they start kikiing, and then Kira, she looks nervous, she looks uneasy. You know why? Because she doesn't like Buffy, and Cyrus is best friends with Buffy, and he goes to all her games. And then on top of that, not only did she, and then by default, she don't like Cyrus. So if you're friends with my enemy, I'm not gonna like you either by default. So I don't like all of y'all. Like, that is like Kira's mentality, like what I believe her mentality is. And I know a lot of girls who are like that. If you're friends with somebody I don't like, then I don't like you as well. Pick a side, So she sees him dapping up TJ, being a little friendly, and she feels uneasy because, she was just trying to flirt with TJ a few minutes ago. And then, Cyrus being the cock block he is, he takes the spotlight like Cyrus always does. And, they had an awkward moment, and Cyrus feels uncomfortable because he's not a confrontational person. And, he feels uneasy because he's just like, oh, Buffy don't really like her. What do you really say? Right? So he feels uneasy, and, they're walking, and TJ ends up talking about what you doing for costume day. He was like, oh, you don't seem like a costume type of guy. It's just, when he said that, it wasn't, I don't think Cyrus like really meant that. I think that is just the way they talk. Oh, you don't seem like this type of person, when they talk. Patterns from previous conversations. And, they were just really excited about this costume idea. TJ came up with it. They were smiling. And even when they were walking, just the closeness of the way they were walking. They were bumping shoulders. They were looking at each other. No two guys, no straight guys walk that close to each other. Not bumping into each other. I don't walk that way with my friends. They were just bumping into each other's shoulder. It was like they just wanted to take up each other's space. And it was really cute. And then we see this scene later on, and TJ sitting on the bench, and Kira goes up to him and she goes, "Hi." TJ heard of her, right? And she's open. She's like, "What's up?" She's really friendly. She's like, "Hey." And TJ is not put off by, like, he looks a little put off, but he's still like, "Hey, what's up? What's good?" And they end up talking, and she says, "I have a idea for a costume. It's a really cool, it's a costume, right?" And he goes, and he just starts smiling. He has this little look on his face, and he's just like, "I can't, because I'm already doing costume day with Cyrus, and we're going as and then he starts laughing. He was like, it's just an inside joke or whatever. And just right then and there, Kira was like, it wasn't just this, but she gives a look like, and she goes, "But it's a really good costume." See, here's the thing. A lot of girls don't know how to take rejection from a guy. They just don't. Like, a lot of females walk around thinking that their pussy is just fucking golden and that no guy can resist them. Some girls even think that they could turn gay guys straight. Like, that's just what it is. I know it's horrible. Even dudes do the same thing, but girls are just like, it's just like, what? What do you mean? And a lot of people are just like, "Oh, but he doesn't even know her." But it's just like, if I'm flirting with a guy and I'm just like, "You know what? We should be cute together. We should dress up together. I think we'll look cute, or whatever, if it was just me and you." And he tells you, "Oh, no, I can't dress up cute with you and do all of this. I have to do this with I already told my best friend that I was going to dress up with him." What? Your best friend will understand, right? Like, it's just, it was just, just so arrogant, and what she says next had me on the floor. I was just like, oh my God, they went there. So she says, "So you'll rather do the costume with Cyrus instead of me? Good luck with that." And she walks off. And the look on TJ's face went from gushing happy to dropping. Because this is what she said. That's what she said, but this is what she meant. "So you'll rather wear matching outfits with a guy instead of me, a girl? Good luck with that." And when she said good luck with that, she was like, people are going to talk. People are going to say anything. It looks weird. It looks embarrassing. People are going to make fun of them. And it's the same reason why Jonah didn't want to wear the matching jackets at the same time with Cyrus. Because it was going to look weird. He told Cyrus, we don't want to look like a bunch of dorks, right? It was just crazy to me. And TJ's face falls, and he goes, and the glow that he had on his face, he just kind of backtracks, and he goes, "Oh, maybe she's right. Maybe it wouldn't look right." And you want to know the crazy thing about it is, I don't even think that TJ's not even aware of his feelings. Like, when he did that, it was just so genuine. He just genuinely just wanted to be around Cyrus, and he wanted to do this with him. And he was so excited he thought of the idea. He was so excited to do it. And then Kira just took him to 10, down to 1. He was just so distraught. He was so upset. And then in that little exchange at the end where Kira's stealing, they showed the shirts off, and TJ's not smiling at all. He's not happy at all. He looks so sad. and he's just standing, he's standing there, and he can't even look Cyrus in the eye. It's the same thing with the gun situation where he wouldn't look Cyrus in the eye because he just felt bad. Like, he just felt bad. Like, he felt so bad for doing this to Cyrus. He couldn't even look at him. And then as he looked at him real brief, and he was like, yeah, I gotta go. And then that's when he walked off. And Cyrus just looking there like a deer caught in the headlights, because and the thing I love about Joshua is that when he plays Cyrus makes sure to stare TJ down, because when TJ won't make eye contact, Cyrus makes sure they make eye contact. Like, he is like really searching. When he was looking at TJ, he was really searching for some answers. Like, you ever like try to talk to someone and you look at their face and you try to look for any type of sign of something, and he was looking for something. And that's when TJ had to walk off, because he knew what he was doing was wrong, but he didn't want to say anything. And then he did it on the actual day. Like, he was such a punk about it. Like, he didn't have the guts to say, I wanted to do this with Kira, right? Because he knew how bad it would hurt Cyrus. So instead, he waits for the actual day, and it just hurts him, So now, in the end, Cyrus are both sad. And that's depressing. I can't wait for Cece. I know Cece's gonna be extremely disappointed, but it's not her wedding, so I don't know. That was Andi Mack. I can't wait for the next episode. I'm so excited. You guys tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section below. It's your girl Naya here, and peace.